In this video today, we're going to take a look at our second special right triangles, the 30, 60, 90 right triangle. Let's jump right in and take a look at our theorem today in a 30, 60, 90 triangle. The hypotenuse is twice as long as the short leg, and the longer leg is root 3 times as long as the short leg. What does that mean? Let's take a look and let's draw it. All right, first of all, let's classify this triangle if we know the angles are 30, 60, and 90. Well, if we have a right angle there, it's going to be a right triangle. If all three angles are different, we know that this is a scalene triangle, so this is going to be a scalene right triangle or a right scalene triangle. All right, this is clearly the right angle here. A smaller angle is our 30-degree angle, and the other angle would be our 60-degree angle. And using our theorem here, and again, we're going to use the same letter we used in our last video, a W. If we call the smallest side W, so which one's the smallest side? That'd be the one that's across from 30, because 30 is the smallest angle. So we'll call that W. It says that the hypotenuse is twice the shortest leg. So the hypotenuse is 2W. And the longer leg is root 3 times the shorter leg. So root 3 times the shortest leg. So this again is being called our setup of a 30, 60, 90 triangle, where we put W across from 30, 2W across from 90, and W root 3 across from 60. Let's take a look at one and how we'll go about finding the missing sides. So here's an example where we have 5 is given to us as one of the legs, and it's a leg that is across from the 30. All right, so when we do our setup here, 5 will be W. Across from 60 will be W root 3, and across from 90 would be 2W. Just like in our 45, 45, 90 video, we want to solve for W next, but again, it's given to us here, so there's nothing to solve for. All we got to do now is take that W, which is 5, and put it everywhere we see W, which is here and here. And we get our answers of y is 10 and x is 5 root 3. So our three side lengths are 5, 5 root 3, and 10. The second one here, we are given that this side over here is 60. Across from 60 is 4 root 3. So across from 60, we know that is W root 3. Across from 30 is W, across from 90 is 2W. So we can solve this equation over here for W by dividing by root 3. And we get W is 4. So now we take our 4 and put it where we know W is. X equals 4, and Y equals 2 times 4, or Y equals 8. So our three side lengths are 4, 4 root 3, and 8. Now we have the hypotenuse is 14. Okay, well the hypotenuse is across from the right angle. So that's 2W. This is 60, so across from that is W root 3, which means this must be 30, and across from that is W. So where does the equation to solve? It's right here. Divide both sides by 2, and we get W is 7, which means X is 7, and Y is 7 root 3. And our last one here. So again, we have 30, we have 90, which means this is going to be 60. So in our initial setup here, across from 30 will be W. Across from 60 is W root 3. And across from 90, our hypotenuse is 2W. So where's the equation to solve? Right over here. Divide both sides by root 3. And we get 15 is equal to W. Which means X is 15, and Y is 2 times 15, or 30. All right, at this point, I would suggest that you pause this video, try the problems on the next slide. There should be 4 of them. And when you are done and you feel confident in your answers, you come back and check your answers on the next slide. Okay, and here are your answers to the 4 problems on the next slide. A, our answers are 7 root 3 and 14. B, the answers are 9 and 18. C, 5 and 5 root 3. And then D, 2.5 and 2.5 root 3. Let's take a look at a couple more complicated ones here. So here we have a 30, 60, 90 triangle, just like before. Across from 30 is going to be W. Across from 60 will be W root 3. And across from 90 is 2W. All right, just like before, there's still going to be one equation that we can solve here. And it's over here. We can divide both sides by square root of 3. All right, that gives us 15 over root 3 equals W. And that's great. That is what W is going to equal to here. However, we don't want to leave a root in our denominator like that. So multiply by root 3 over root 3. And we're left with 15 root 3 over 3. And then we can simplify 15 over 3, so W is 5 root 3. So what does that mean for our final answers here? Well, Y is W, so Y is 5 root 3. And X is 2 times that, so X is 10 root 3. How about problem B here? Same thing. We have a 30, 60, 90. Across from 30 is W. Across from 60 is W root 3. And across from 90 is 2W. So we have to solve for W. And here we have it over here, solving for W by dividing both sides by root 3. I get 21 over root 3 equals W. Multiply by root 3 over root 3. I get 21 root 3 over 3 is W. If we can reduce it, please do that, and we can. So 21 over 3 is 7, so W is 7 root 3. Back to our problem, that means that X is 7 root 3, and Y is twice that, so 14 root 3. Now, you've discovered a pattern here. Really, if we have the big side, the big leg, as a whole number, okay, basically what we're going to do is we're going to take that whole number and divide it by 3 and multiply it by root 3, and that'll give us our shorter side. Okay, if you don't understand the pattern, please keep doing what you did in problems A and B. But here we have, let's take a look at this pattern here. X is W, 30 is W root 3, and Y is 2W. And when we have this, all we're going to do is divide that by 3 and multiply it by root 3, so W equals 10 root 3. Which makes X equal to 10 root 3, and Y equal to 20 root 3. All right, this section is really all about pattern recognition, and the sooner you can understand these patterns, the much quicker all these problems will be to complete. 2 more problems today. We're going to talk about some word problems here. The fourth one says, suppose the altitude of an equilateral triangle. So let's draw an equilateral triangle. And let's draw an altitude in. Remember, an altitude makes right angles here, right? And remember, equilateral means all the angles are 60, which makes these two 30, 60, 90 triangles. And the altitude is 15 root 3. And it says to find the perimeter. All right, well, let's just focus on this triangle. So across from 30 is W, across from 60 is W root 3, and across from 90 is 2W. So we have W root 3 equals 15 root 3, which means W equals 15. So this is 15, but more importantly, this side is 30. And if that side is 30, and this is an equilateral triangle, that means all three sides are 30, so the perimeter must be 3 times 30, or 90 centimeters. And the last example here, number 5, the vertex angle of an isosceles triangle is measured of 120. All right, let's draw an isosceles triangle whose vertex angle is 120. The legs are 20 feet apart. Find the measure of the altitude from the vertex. So we're looking for the measure of this altitude. So again, what we want to do here is we'll just focus on one triangle. How about this triangle over here? What do I know? I know this is going to be 60 because dividing 120 in half, which means this is 30. So this is a 30, 60, 90 triangle. I know these are both 10 because, again, we're dividing that triangle in half with that altitude from the isosceles vertex. So setting this triangle up, I know this is W. I know this is W root 3, and then this is 2W over here. But most importantly is our equation right here. So if we use a pattern or if we solve that, either way, we should get the same answer of 10 root 3 over 3. And that's it. That's W. X is W. So our answer here is 10 root 3 over 3 feet. All right, that'll do it for our look into special right triangles. If you feel like you missed anything, go back and watch these videos again. Otherwise, you can always ask questions in class. Thanks again for tuning in today, everyone.